got a big ass gun and it got a mean spray. Turn your pants to ashes, make your jeans gray. Y'all think niggas gangsta? Well, I'm a damn Gambino then. I'm nice with the metal, Colossus, Magneto then. I'm nice with the blade too, I'll shank you, boy. What? Get blue quick, I'm a beast, Hank McCoy. What? Get it shaking like Michael J with the extra sketch. Who taught y'all how to rap, man? I should get your professor's X. Shooting blast, dum-dums on your stupid ass. This your last stand, you about to see your days of future past. Niggas like Dawn done, now I'm on one. Should've warned, son, this the calm before the storm come. Those that know me know ain't shit sweet. A nocturnal nightcrawler, a road with Mystique. Shit, man, I just suspect the fridge up at your mother's spot. Drink straight out the juice, don't give a fuck if it's a jug or not.
Pussy wall, we are trying to pull out this woman bomb buckler.
WBA order the 44-year-old Kubrat Pulev to fight the 20-year-old world title contender Moses Itauma. Pulev will be defending his WBA regular heavyweight title. And it says here, Moses Itauma faces backlash after the WBA orders fight with 44-year-old Pulev for regular title. Now let's see what the backlash is and who the backlash is coming from. They're saying if they was Itauma, they wouldn't take the fight. It's meaningless. But given Itauma's track record for fighting older guys to build his unbeaten record, this fight is so him. I was thinking of defending Moses Itauma, but in all truth, Dan Garber, Marius Wack, Mike Belugan are all in their 40s, Dillian late 30s, Dempsey McKean 35. He hasn't fought no young live bodies. But I still am going to defend him because this is 2025. Adaptations to training, supplements and peds. Having less fights is preserving fighters to fight on for longer. Klitschko brothers. Vitali retired at 42. WBC champion. Vlad lost his titles to Tyson Fury when he's 39. Now, I'm not going to long it out with a whole lot of historical data. But Ali, before he won the title, he was 20. He fought Archie Moore. Archie Moore was 49 years of age. So contenders, up-and-coming contenders, have always feasted on overripe fighters, let's say. We could say Dylan was a little overripe when Moses fought him. Now, Murat Gassiev apparently is who Kubrat Pulev wants to fight as a voluntary. Frank Warren is insisting Pulev's next fight must be Moses Itauma, or he'll get stripped, but Moses will fight for the vacant title. Moses, Frank Warren, they had to pay their sanctioning fees for Moses to win that WBA title when he knocked out Dillian. He's the number one ranked contender. So basically, whether you like it or not, Itauma has earned the shot at the regular title, whether you think Dillian shouldn't have been in the ring or not. But I gather boxing fans are saying that he should give up his opportunity to become regular champion and let the lower ranked contender get the opportunity to become regular champion and position himself to fight for USEC straps. Gassiev is ranked number 12. Moses is ranked number 1.
I don't believe in none of that shit. The facts are backwards.
Why isn't the outrage pointed at the proliferation of belts that the WBA in particular like to stack up in the weight classes? Regular titles, interim titles. Why has You Don't Like the Pulev-Moses fight prioritized the debate that Moses should be fighting Pulev before Gassiev? He's ranked higher. He's got a WBA strap. How does Pulev get to decide he fights a voluntary over his mandatory? This is why the sanctioning bodies get away with a lot of their bullcrap. Stacking up belts in the weight class. Letting fighters ranked outside the top 10 fight for titles. This is why they get away with it. Because of the lack of critical thinking from these so-called journalists and media. Now Frank is using his status, and they pay the sanctioning fee to get Moses in this position with the WBA. But Moses doesn't choose who the champion is for him to fight. He just goes in there and fights. People should be outraged that Pulev is trying to fight Murat Gassiev because it's not in accordance with the rules. He's got to fight his mandatory.
Y'all know the rules.
So let's Go back to the Backlash. Good old Boxing 24. If Itauma is as good as his fans and promoters have hyped him up to be, it's pointless for him to fight Pulev to become WBA secondary champion. Still no step up. What Itauma should have done was fight Sanchez to show that he's the real thing, not the hype job that some boxing fans suspect him to be. It's hard not to view Itauma in that light when one looks at the lower level opposition he's faced as a pro. You mean like Deontay Wilder in his first 32 fights? Then they say there should have been a step-up opponent by this point to test whether Itauma is the goods. But there hasn't been one. That's a red flag. The Sanchez fight or the Filip Hrgović fight would have been a perfect matchup for Moses to prove he's not as fake as some fans think. Now, this is what I'm talking about, not doing your due diligence. According to Frank Warren, Hrgović swerved the Itauma fight. Warren told TalkSport Boxing there's two ways you say I don't want to fight or I want £1 trillion for it. Which is obviously Frank exaggerating about the trillion. But Hrgović wanted to be paid danger money. And according to Google AI, Michael Hunter and Jermaine Franklin turned down the Itauma fight. I mean, a hype job with 13 fights at 20 years of age.
Do me a favour.
I had a phone call a couple of weeks ago. They offered me to fight Moses Itauma in Saudi. You know, I said, how much? He said, 2 million. I said, nah, I'm out. You know.
Yeah.
I said, nah.
Derek Chisora ranked number 2 with the IBF, number 8 with the WBO. He turned down 2 million to fight Itauma. Why did Moses not fight Frank Sanchez? Probably the same reason that Efer Jagba turned down that eliminator with Frank Sanchez. Probably the reason that if Turki Al-Sheikh didn't get in the game, Frank Sanchez would have never been on the big stage to have one tune-up against Junior Farr and then a significant fight against Ajit Caballero, where he failed. Let's face it, the heavyweights weren't queuing up to fight the guy. They said he was boring, but it's basically risk-reward. He's a low-key threat. The industry don't like saying that, but I'm the channel telling you that's exactly what it is.
A stunning August Arabian night as Moses Itauma, the precocious prince of British heavyweights.
It's risk-reward. Richard Torres, he's 6 years older than Moses. He's had the same amount of fights as Moses. Apart from Guido Vianello, which was a step up for Torres. They're not taking more risks with Richard than they are with Moses. That's Bob Arum and Top Rank. But you see, the likes of Boxing News 24, in my opinion, are anti-European fighters. Always have been. Isn't it strange, though, how the likes of Pulev can plod along with that regular belt, fight the likes of Mahmoud Shah, and the media and the fans don't bat an eyelid that this is for a secondary world title. Don't bat an eyelid. But because Moses Itauma is a big news story, the media and the fans are saying it should be off limits. Itauma and Gassiev are both trying to become world champions. But the route seems to be open for one and not the other.
I can prove it to you, watch the rotation. It all adds up to a fucking situation.
The debate now, in my opinion, the debate should be, should that belt be in existence? If Moses is overqualified to fight for it, then Murat Gassiev is underqualified to fight for it, and Pulev is underqualified to hold it. If Moses can't fight for it, scrap it. I mean, it was nearly 5 years ago when the WBA said they were going to clean up the belts. But there's still 3 in the heavyweight division. Fabio Wardley has the interim, Pulev has the regular, and Usyk has the full title. That needs to be addressed by boxing. And not just spoke about once and then left. It needs to be addressed until it's eradicated. Or there has to be penalties for the WBA. But boxing ain't going to do that. They just don't have the concentration to see things through. And then they complain, the sanctioning bodies are doing this, the sanctioning bodies are doing that. Usyk, he's back in training, planning a return next year. And he's wrote off a fight with Moses Itauma. He's wrote it off, which I'm guessing hasn't pleased Turkey. He said, no, I won't fight Itauma. He's young, always teasing me. And he himself said he doesn't hit grandpas. So basically, Frank's had to take Moses from off the Derek Chisora card that was planned for December. Derek will be fighting Jarrell Miller in Manchester. But with Miller, until you actually see him in the ring, it's never a done deal. But because Pulev is planning to go a different way and face Gassiev, Frank won't be able to get Moses out there until next year. It's not ideal. As far as I'm concerned, he's 20 years of age, yeah? He needs to be active. He fought 4 times last year against Dempsey, Marius Wak, Garba, and another import in Riyadh, which gave him a total of 6 rounds combined. This year, he's fought Dillian and Balogun, which has gave him a total of 3 rounds combined. But now Frank has got Moses in the system, the sanctioning belt system, a whole load of bureaucracy and red tape, which automatically slows up your output in terms of fights you're going to have. And this is not ideal for a 20-year-old prospect / contender. It's not ideal. Frank at this stage just needs to be getting opponents in to fight Moses. Frank doesn't need to be doing all these hard negotiations to get Pulev in the ring so Moses can be a regular champion. So when Frank and Moses went for that WBA international title against Dillian, added to that, they put it on pay-per-view all around the world, I believe. The expectations for Moses now are very high. Is Moses ready to fight the likes of Usyk? It would be a big gamble to pitch him in there with him right now. Of course it would be. But the way he iced Dillian and Dempsey McKean before that is where Frank and Ben Davison have to take stock of the situation, because he could stagnate if he has the talent to blow a certain level of competition away easy. He could stagnate, develop bad habits. And as grown as we say he is, he's got to be feeling the pressure, because people are expecting him to fight Frank Sanchez, this guy, that guy. And they may be swerving Frank Sanchez. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. But there's people swerving him too. But there's a lot of pressure for a 20-year-old. But look, I was watching boxing when there was only 2 belts. I was watching it. And there wasn't no regular, no interim belts. So a lot of times, these promoters are using all these additional belts to promote their fighter. I don't think Frank Warren was ever serious about trying to make Moses the youngest heavyweight champion and beat Mike Tyson's record. I don't think they was ever serious about that. I think it was a marketing tool, and I believe them trying to get this regular belt will be, at least for now, a marketing tool to try and justify Moses as a pay-per-view draw.
Yes!
The proliferation of belts, the proliferation of sanctioning bodies are being manipulated by promoters and networks. Yes, indeed. But Moses didn't make the system. He didn't make the rankings. What do they say across the pond? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Because if you have a talented fighter, the multiple belt system we have now can be manipulated by a promoter and a broadcasting network who know what they're doing. It might make the fighter unpopular with the fans, with a certain section of the fans, but right now it's boxing's biggest hustle. It's got to look at Gervonta Davis. Never unified a strap in his career. Coined the term email champion for Devin Haney, when that's his MO. Now he's been rewarded with the keys to untold riches with the Jake Paul fight. And it's a fight that most fighters, modern or old school, would take. The belts were there. The 2 straps were there. The WBA belt was there. The WBC belt was there. And Frank Warren got into professional boxing licensed under the British Boxing Board of Control. Frank is working with the system. The television cannot sell fights without belts. They can't. They used to be able to do it. They can't do it now. Frank would be doing Moses Itauma a disservice if he didn't push through and force Pulev to fight his mandatory. He'd be doing him a disservice. Now, for the fans who don't want to watch it, hey, it's your choice. I'll be supporting Moses Itauma though. Pulev is a good test for Moses Itauma at this stage of his career. The belt is just there. You know, if the WBA ain't going to clean up that situation with all them belts, then we need someone like Itauma to go in there, clean up Pulev, and at least we can look to the future that we have a potential contender for the world title, not someone just trying to scrape up the last few quid he can from the belt before he retires, knowing full well he's not on Alexander Pulev's level. And Frank Warren, obviously, he's using his platform and his status to try and accelerate the pace of how quick he can bring Moses Itauma to either a title or stardom, or both. But ultimately, the final decision is down to the WBA on who they put through to fight for their titles and their belts. Whether that's Moses versus Pulev, Pulev versus Gassiev, Ben Whittaker versus his opponent for the WBC silver title, Boots Ennis versus Lima for the WBA interim, I believe. People critique the fights, but they're a gateway for the promoters, the broadcasters to market the fighters until they can fight for the full titles. There's people saying that Boots could have fought Martazaliev for the IBF title, but as far as I know, Martazaliev is in a purse bid with Josh Kelly, his mandatory. So what was the reality that we was going to see Boots face off against Martazaliev until Martazaliev gets his mandatory out of the way? But I don't know. Maybe Boots did duck him. Or maybe Martazaliev was clout chasing when he said Boots could have took the fight. All I know is long. All the speculation and accusations of the duckery and fuckery amongst the four sanctioning belts, it's long, and it's why a lot of boxing fans have run away from the sport. Why am I believing Backram over Boots? Why? Because right now it's popular to say Boots is ducking everybody. Did Backram's people make Boots an offer? I haven't seen the receipt. Yeah, Frank is going to probably charge us pay-per-view for Moses against Pulev. Now I'm not feeling that at all. And I'd have to decide if I'm going to pay for that or not.
I got a big ass gun and it got a mean spray. Turn your pants to ashes, make your jeans gray. Y'all think niggas gangsta? Well, I'm a damn Gambino then. I'm nice with the metal, Colossus, Magneto then. I'm nice with the blade too, I'll shank you, boy, what? Get blue quick, I'm a beast, Hank McCoy, what? Get it shaking like Michael J with the Etch-a-Sketch. You taught y'all how to rap, man, I should get your professors etched. Shooting blast, dum-dums on your stupid ass. This your last stand, you about to see your days of future past. Niggas like Dawn done, now I'm on one. Should've warned, son, this the calm before the storm come. Those that know me know ain't shit sweet. A nocturnal nightcrawler, a road with Mystique. Shit, man, I just suspect the fridge of at your mother's spot. Drink straight out the juice, don't give a fuck if it's a jug or not.